How's it going, everyone? Welcome to episode 4 of my Road to Glory, also known as Phoenix from the Ashes, and as you can see, we are making one of the two buys that will be made in this episode, and the first player is proper the Dutch centre mid from Vitesse, and at first I wanted to go with Marco van Ginkel because he's a really underrated player and all stats are just much higher than what they say on the card, but since he's really rare on the market, I couldn't find him in the 4-3-2-1 formation, so instead I just went with proper because he's nearly just as good, and he also has 4-star weak foot, which means that he can deliver both passes with his left and of course with his right foot. He also has 3-star skill mode, so you can do roulette with him, and his left foot is just amazing, as we'll see in the upcoming match. But as you can see, we're going into our first, and immediately after we got past the loading screen, I got an error message saying that my player disconnected from the game. I think that his internet dropped or he just rage quit it. I don't know what it meant, but because it didn't count as a proper match, I immediately went into my second game without buying a new player. So as you can see, we are coming up against our second player, and that is Impatient, and he had a really good team. As you can see, he had Inform Wilshire, he also had Aguero and R1, just loads of pace, and that had to came up against my 69 chemistry team. So once again, thanks EA for the masterful web matchmaking. As you can see, we are making the first goal of this episode by the buy, who is sent away by one of my players, and he's not gonna miss it. In the 18th minute, he's gonna make the first goal of this episode already, and almost immediately after that, in the 29th minute, proper immediately made his mark on the game with an incredible shot with his left foot, and immediately after that, my opponent just rage quit it. So he was quite mad because a 69 chemistry team was beating his pretty expensive team. So that's our first win in Division 4, and as you can see, we won, so that means that we can buy another player, and I decided to go with some more pace in the back. So I decided to go with a new centre back, and we got Cum for only 500 coins, not my favorite formation, but since he's going to become a rotation player, because I wanted to go with Jurgensen later on in this series, so I didn't really mind that I bought him in the wrong formation. But as you can see, we are going to come up against our final player of this episode, and with his team Resistencia FC. Well, he had a pretty decent team, but he had loads of players out of formation, which meant that his chemistry was still pretty low. With the manager, he still managed to reach 98 chemistry, but as you will see, we're going to score the first goal because my player sent Castaños away, because his defender Nastasic was just out of the chemistry. He couldn't keep up with Luke, and he just easily scored the 1-0 in the 41st minute. He's gonna score one back to score the equalizer in the 51st minute, so 10 minutes after, he passed the ball to Wilshire, and he's not gonna miss that versus my bronze keeper, and he made it 1-1. But pretty much immediately after, you can see that Misijan got the ball on his left foot, and he made an incredibly bad volley, but fortunately it still managed to go in to make the 2-1. And after that, things went pretty fast. So in the 68th minute, a really bad shot by Al-Asmari. It was saved by the goalkeeper. Then he made another save, but it got back to Al-Asmari, who still made the goal, to make one of his first goals in this series. And almost immediately after that, the buy made the 4-2 after the opponent still managed to score one goal back. So at that point, it was 4-2. And you can see the final goal of this episode. So Mr. was sent away, and he scored really well with a really good finesse shot, because while his shot is still pretty decent, like I said before. And that's the end of this episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until the next time, peace, bye, thank you guys for watching.